This video was made possible by Wix. If you are ready to create a website, head over to wix.com/go/infographics to try out one of their premium plans right now. What do men want? Well, if we're talking about what men are looking for in a physical sense, it seems science has worked that out for us. Some of those physical characteristics, we are told, include women having shiny white teeth. Studies also tell us men like strong hips. This is obviously related to childbirth. Do men really prefer blondes though? Not according to one study in the Scandinavian Journal of Psychology, which tells us more men like brunettes. Men also prefer long hair, and the healthier looking the better. Again, this is related to fertility, as lots of healthy looking hair shows vitality, a vitality passed on to offspring. But those studies we looked at didn't talk about the things that feed us when we are babies, and that's what we'll talk about today. In this episode of the Infographics Show, why are men attracted to breasts? First of all, is it true that men like larger breasts? Well, it's complicated. An article in Psychology Today cites a study that involved 266 men in Malaysia being shown animated images of women with varying breast sizes. All these men had very different economic statuses, and it seemed that mattered a lot when it came to breast preference. It turned out that poorer men liked bigger breasts more than middle-income men. Middle-income men liked larger breasts more than high-income men. The poorer the man, the more he liked big breasts. The conclusion scientists came to was that breasts act as signs of fat reserves, so bigger ones are a bigger source of those reserves. Poorer men are more in need of those reserves. Another study on the same subject took place on a university campus in the UK. The participants were only British white males because it said that your ethnicity counts when it comes to liking certain breast size. The groups that were interviewed and shown images were either full, they'd just eaten, or they were hungry. Something remarkable happened. Men who were hungry liked the larger breasted women in the images substantially more than the men who had just eaten. We found another study that again talked about how men view women in relation to the possibility of them giving birth. Men who want children will like a smaller waist to hips ratio, but apparently those men will also like larger breasts. Researchers wrote that this was related to the higher levels of estradiol in large-breasted women, which is a fertility-related hormone. In this study, men could design their own women and create their ideal body. The men that weren't interested in making a family created women with smaller breasts. Does that mean if you're poor, hungry, and really want to have kids, you'll be looking for women with triple Ds? There have been many studies over the years, and most come to the conclusion we have stated that we see breasts as a food resource and a symbol of fertility. But Live Science adds some confusion by citing an old study that interviewed men from 191 cultures from all over the world. The anthropologists found that in only 13 of the cultures were breasts considered sexually important. In 9 cultures, big breasts were seen as more attractive than small breasts. Then there were other preferences, such as some tribes in Africa preferring long, dangling breasts, or men from the South Pacific liking the opposite, pointy breasts. Relating to what kind of breasts men like, there is nature, but also nurture. Researchers at Prague's Charles University embarked on a mission to find out what kind of breasts men like, and the results showed most men preferred perky breasts over just large breasts. The study interviewed 267 men from Brazil, Cameroon, the Czech Republic, and Namibia. Individual preferences for breast size were variable, but the majority of raters preferred medium-sized, followed by large-sized breasts, said the scientists, adding that most men preferred firm breasts. Again, it's down to fertility, as firm often suggests the women are young and have a better chance of procreation. One professor of psychiatry at Emory University just puts it down to evolution. Men, like babies, just love breasts. Women are stimulated when they breastfeed as the neurochemical oxytocin floods her brain. The baby gets its milk and she gets a kick out of it. It's evolutionary harmony, but this relationship gets carried into adulthood. Men know they can stimulate a woman by kissing her breasts, and this improves the bond with women, and therefore the cycle of life can continue when they reproduce. Men, in other words, are just evolutionarily hardwired to like breasts. What is also fundamental is the reason we have lips. Lips are basically a suction device. As Charles Darwin said in The Expression of Emotion in Man and Animals, we might not all kiss, but lips are useful for mammals as they help the suction process. They are also sensitive and give us enjoyment, much like the human nipple, and so the two create a perfect harmony. In the book, The Chemistry Between Us, men's attraction to breasts is summed up like this. Evolution has selected for this brain organization in men that makes them attracted to the breasts in a sexual context because the outcome is that it activates the female bonding circuit, making women feel more bonded with him. It's a behavior that males have evolved in order to stimulate the female's maternal bonding circuitry. The book goes on to explain that human male fixation on breasts is different from other animals, probably because we form monogamous relationships and the fact we make love face to face. This provides nipple stimulation. Zoologist Desmond Morris, in his famous book Naked Apes, has another idea. He says many animals, including our simian ancestors, walk on all fours and show their bottoms to attract a mate. The bigger, redder, shinier, the better. But when we become bipedal, meaning walking on 2 feet, something else had to stick out. Yes, they were the breasts. They supplanted the backside. We became breast men and not butt men. We looked at debate.org to see what men said about breasts and if size is important. 64% of men said that a larger size was important. Many people stated that larger breasts can be attractive as it's a biological imperative. The 34% said things like personality is much more important, and men looking for large-breasted women are often treating women like objects and not people. But are those men perhaps rich, or are those men the kind of guys that are not looking to have children? One woman in that debate said she hated the fact she was an A-cup. She added, "Everyone who says men don't care about breast size is either not aware about it or they're not telling the truth." You can find many forums in which women state their insecurity about their breasts. It seems most women want these larger but firm breasts. Which country has the largest breasted women on average? According to the website World Data, the top 3 countries are USA, Caucasian, Canada, and USA, non-Caucasian. If you look at those statistics, which weighed breasts by the milliliter, it would take at least 10 average Filipino women to make 1 average American breast. Another study said the largest breasts were found in Russia, Sweden, and then Finland. So what is the perfect breast size? One poll, which included 2,000 men and women, revealed this. 48.5% of men preferred a C-cup size, which is kind of average. 52.3% of women wanted to be this size. 19.8% of men wanted a B-cup size, and 25.8% of women wanted to be that size. Only 18.8% of men wanted a D-cup size, and only 14.4% of women wanted that size.
And while everybody has their own preference when it comes to breast size, we think we can all agree that we prefer Wix when it comes to making and hosting a website. Wix is a super easy, yet professional and robust platform for creating, managing, and hosting your website. You can use a custom domain for anything. From a blog to a website for a restaurant, Wix does all the heavy lifting. You can finally create that amazing website that you've been putting off because maybe you just didn't know how by going to wix.com/go/infographics or by clicking the link in the description.
So, all we can do now is turn this over to you. Do you agree with the science? What is your preference? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to watch our other video called How to Fall Asleep in Less Than a Minute. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time!